I think it was season 2 where I toilet papered and stink bombed his trailer. And I think that's when we realized that if he and I prank each other, it would get really, really bad very quickly. We decided to join forces.
And so we really were able to focus our efforts on Misha. I like messing with Misha. Yeah.
We always make fun of Misha because we work every day, you know, and Misha, he works a lot, but sometimes he won't work for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then we'll see him again and we'll be like, hey, like, what's the deal? He's like, oh, I was off vacationing. And so we were like,
You know, sometimes I'll be a late night of shooting and I want to go home and
See your wife, kids.
yeah, whatever, you know. Get a few hours of sleep before the next day, and there'll be no air in the tires of my car.
That's right. That one wasn't meant to be so mean. I thought we'd probably wrap by like 11 p.m., so I let all the air out of his tires. But we ended up shooting till like 2 or 3 a.m. But by then, like, what am I gonna do? Put air back in his tires? So I went home. He rides his own car to work and parks it near where our trailers are. Why would you do that?
one time he parked his car really near to my trailer, and I had a scene, I had like a 2-hour break in the middle of the day, and I was like, we tried to like track his keys down to move his car, and we were putting like mayonnaise underneath the door handle and stuff like that. Maybe I shouldn't be teaching.
I put some cooked fish in.
Oh yeah, I forgot to even mention that. Well, you put fish in my car under this.
Well, you have to tell us.
How'd you get in my car?
I broke into your trailer, stole
God
the
damn
keys. Here's the exact genesis of it. So it's between scenes, and I think Misha stays. I go back.
So
to my trailer.
unprofessional.
No, it was amazing professional. Are you kidding? No one knew it. It was like stealth. So I walk into my trailer, and there's some fish there from lunch. And as soon as I open my trailer door, I'm like, that fish smells. I'm gonna put it in Misha's car. I go walk to Misha's door. I knock. Misha, hey, it's Jared. Hey, buddy, you in here? Hey, I just want to ask you a question. No answer. Sweet. Open it up. Get the key. Sneak over. I just put it under his passenger seat. His back seat. So I open the back seat door and I put it under the passenger seat. Like 3 or 4 pieces.
And under the driver's seat, actually.
Yeah. I forgot that. Yeah. I didn't know if he had found the driver's seat one, so I didn't want to give away the secret right now. But yeah, he found it. But you found it. You thought it was West.
I found it the next day because my car smelled terrible, and I found the fish under the passenger seat first, and I was like, damn, are those kids? They're such a mess. They left these giant pieces of fish, and then when I found it on the other side, I was like, oh, fucking Jared. There was no. I mean. It was also the size of the pieces of fish. Like I always give them like a bite-sized morsel of something, and it's like
These are like full fillets.
that's a big fish for a baby to be eating.
That was came out of nowhere. I can't believe you forgot to tell him. I know. Clearly, it didn't make enough of an impression. I need to kick it up a notch. No, wait. See, I can. I'll get pranked back. So anyway, we probably shouldn't. You ever heard of Words with Friends? Okay, it's basically Scrabble, but it's for free. You're getting an iPhone or Android and stuff like that. I love the game, and I'm playing it all the time on set because I have friends in Texas and my family, blah, blah. And so he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm playing Scrabble. It's called Words with Friends. And he's like, all right, you want to play? And I was like, sure. And so we played, and I won. And I won by 11 points or something. And so he was so mad, he was like, let's make it interesting. And I was like, let's make it interesting. And he goes, $10 a point to the winner. And I was like, okay, usually games end in like 5, 15, so I was like, man, someone thinks you're gonna owe me like $150, I'm like, you're gonna owe me a lot of money, because I'm talking trash, you're gonna owe me a couple $100. And we shake on it, and we agree to it, everybody sees. And we start playing, and immediately I get a word that was worth like 160 points. So he's now losing by like 140 points, times $10 a point. Like it's, and I was like, Misha, look, we can call this a wash, but he's too stubborn. He's like, no, don't talk to me. And he's like, how is this guy, didn't go to high school, this gargantuan moose man, like, beating me in Scrabble and spelling. He didn't know that I was an academic myself. The game's over and I win by, I think like 205 points. And so I'm like, Misha, look, we're buddies, like, you don't have to pay me. If it was like $50, I'd make you pay me, but it's gonna be $2,000. I was like, no, you got a kid, you got a wife. I don't want this money. And he was like, no, you get the money, get out of my face. And I was like, all right, if you're gonna be that way about it, then give me my money. So he didn't give my money for a long, long time. I didn't know why, but I was like, Misha, how long does it take to go to a bank? How long does it take to go to a commission? He's like, where's my money? I was just talking trash. And finally, I'm on set, and everybody's kind of acting a little strange. And it's been maybe a month, 2 months. I'm like, why is everybody kind of like looking at me? Am I flying? My face. And so finally, it's in between takes, and I go out to my trailer and I open the door, and there is over $2,000 in change. I think there were over 100,000 coins. There were like 78,000 pennies. And it turns out the reason he took so long is because he had to drive around to 8 banks asking for all the change. It was actually, so I had to spend an hour cleaning it up with a shovel. I literally went and got a shovel from the set. And so I put it into 3 buckets, and when he was on set, I stuffed his keys, and I unlocked his car, and I poured one of the buckets into his car. And I wrote, Dear Misha, thanks for paying your debt. Now, if you'd be so kind, please make this donation payable to your rescue. I think it's about $700. And I signed it, and it was all over his car, and so he couldn't clean it.
It was sloshing around in my car as I was driving to and from work for several days.
He said every time that he'd stop, the chain would go. And he'd be like, yep.
One of our drivers got a shop vac and cleaned it up, and he was like, I cleaned that stuff up for Misha. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, I got the shop vac and I vacuumed it up. I was like, why would you do that? And he looks at me and goes, do you want me to put it all back? And I was like, what?
Yes.
No, I guess not. I guess it's due time.
But then we donated that money to his charity and the rest to a Ride for Cancer charity that our first AD participates in. So it went to the...
Do you still have some change in there?
Yeah, it keeps falling out of new places.
I found change in my trailer stuff. It was in the little vent by the...
A year later.
A year later? That's good.
I have the AT&T plan up in Canada, which is, it's like having a second mortgage. Very, very expensive. And every text, incoming or outgoing, costs 50 cents. So you have to choose your texts wisely. And you can't see this, but each of these bubbles represents a single letter and a very long-winded birthday salutation that I got at 2 a.m. on my birthday from Jared Pellick. There are hundreds of them. It started going off, right? I was like, right, ding, ding. And my phone was right next to my bed, and I got up and I was like, that groggy state, like, oh no. That's always coming from Jared, and immediately seeing single letters in that text box. I was like, oh, fuck him. They just kept coming, ding, ding, ding. And then towards the end, like about 68, they just start blank. Just blank messages. And I was in that groggy state, like, help, stop. I'm thinking, what can I do? Can I put my phone in the toilet? And I shut my phone off. And then in the morning when I turned my phone on, I was like, beep, 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 beep. So anyway, that was funny for him.
And additionally, you had to deal with Jensen and Jared, which must be hard.
Please don't say those names. It makes me very angry.
When Misha was going to direct we were getting all these questions about what are you going to do to him, how much are you going to prank him, what kind of pranks are you guys thinking? Jared and I weren't going to do anything. And then he and I got together and I'm like, wow, I think we really owe it to the fans.
They only worked together on that episode for one day, which was so lucky. Because they fan each other. They're okay when they're by themselves, but when they get together, they're like the devil. You know, that day that when they were both together, they pied me in the face a couple of times.
With green pie in the face. That one, we got that one. Yeah.
There was a few people on the crew who felt bad for me, who knew that directing is a big job and you have a lot to think about. And so people would come up to me and say things like, hey man, don't tell them that I told you, but run to your car. I was like, thanks for the tip. Run to my car, just as I get in, I shut the door, boom, water balloon hits the window. Just got in.
Water balloons.
Yeah.
Fall through the chair. So in the director's chairs, you could actually rig them to where they look like they're supposed to look, and then when you sit, you go right through.
I only fell for that twice. The third time, I was like,
So what we were going to do is we were going to prank him to some degree every day, and then I actually have here on day 6 or 7, no pranks. So he's just waiting for it all day, and it never comes. And it's like, it should drive him crazy.
yeah, it's a stressful environment. As if I didn't have enough to think about.
But you did really a great job, so we hope for more next season.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Hi. Go ahead.
We hear a lot of stories about Misha being pranked by you and Jared. Do you have some kind of criteria for a person to be pranked, or are you just thinking about Misha?
Yeah, it's just Misha.
What is it about him?
He's Misha. Yeah, the pranks, you know, sometimes and it just depends on what mood we're in. We work a lot. And if we come on set, we're in a good mood, you're standing there and you're trying to be all serious, bad news for you. I think that was Misha's big mistake. He took himself too seriously, and Jared and I looked at each other and were like, well, this ain't gonna last for long. No, honestly, you know why? Because I think it's because we like him so much. Do not tell him I said it. When guest stars or returning characters will come back, and Jared and I start getting a little cranky with them. I've actually heard crew members pull those actors aside and be like, you're in, they like you. So I guess in a weird way it's a sign of affection. It's a sign of you know, we like them, so we make them suffer.
We've also had some very elaborate pranks pulled on us. We had an entire shot set up around one. We were climbing down into a manhole cover into a sewer, and it was a set built, so there was this big column. So we started climbing down this little ladder in a tube, and then it was just a wall of water came from up top, and it was the camera guys had 2 5-gallon buckets of cold water on top of both of us. It was courtesy of Kim Manners, our director at the time.